The Legends EA DLC is almost here, so today on the podcast, we're going to be breaking down every single thing that we could expect to see in this game. Mega evolutions, returning Pokemon, returning characters. We got a lot of questions, and to help us, we've invited on a special guest. Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. My name is DustyGogoat, and today I'm joined by TraderLumi.
Hello.
SoulSilverArt.
What's up?
And we couldn't do this episode today alone. We had to invite friend of the show, Hoops and Hip Hop. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're stoked to have you on today. And, dude, we're stoked to have you on to talk about this Legends EA Mega Dimension DLC. Let's just jump right into it. I think through this episode, we're going to kind of find out, because I am curious. We've had about a month with this game now. I am curious to kind of pick up what your impressions are of and what you think about ZA. So we'll pick that up throughout the episode. But let's start off with this, right? Obviously, we know we're getting new Mega Evolutions in this DLC. There was also a data mined leak of Pokemon that will be getting new Mega Evolutions, and some of those Pokemon were confirmed when we learned about Baxcalibur and Chimecho. And every other YouTube channel is reviewing these. We reviewed this list. So I don't think the list of Mega Evolutions is a surprise. But what would be a really fun conversation today, to start this off, is to kind of speculate what the Pokemon are actually going to turn into. Because we don't have descriptions of these Pokemon. We just know which Pokemon are designated to get a Mega Evolution form from the data mine. So yeah, Mega Evolutions, I guess. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Hoops? And honestly, for all of you guys, what are you thinking? And for listeners, I'm going to show the list right now. So spoiler alert, there will be timestamps in the description if you want to skip this section. Here's the list. What are you thinking, Hoops? Are you happy with Mega Evolutions in this generation, in this game? And what are you most looking forward to out of this list?
Yeah, so just Megas in general in ZA, having them back has been a lot of fun. It's also been interesting because I think a lot of other people have noticed this too, but to me, the ZA Megas have a very different flavor to the Oraz and X and Y Megas. Like the designs just feel like they're coming from a different angle. So it's been kind of interesting to see that. I really like, as far as the DLC Megas, that there's a good chunk of them, because with DLC, it's always like how much, especially with new Pokemon, it's like how many are we going to get? And this is like a good number to me. So I feel good about that. I also, the Pokemon specifically are cool. Like you've got some Mythicals and Legendaries in there. You've got some Gen 9 Pokemon, which I think is really interesting. And then you've also got a couple Pokemon like Absol and Garchomp that already have Megas. So it's like, what's going to happen to them? So there's a lot of interesting dynamics here, for sure.
It's honestly true. There actually are, every time I look at this list, there's like 5 different points that I want to like dive into. I don't know. Like, I'm actually getting overwhelmed. I'm like, where do we start?
It's super spicy, right? I think you brought up a good.
I get it because Scovillain's there. That was good, Soul.
I always forget about Scovillain being there, and then when I think about it, I'm like, dang, that's going to be friggin' crazy. I don't even know.
So happy.
That one,
Right?
that one is one that could, for me, it could take Scovillain to like an S tier Pokemon if it's done right, but it could also like make it worse too.
Yeah.
It could go like either way. I think there's a lot of potential.
Yeah. It's like if it goes into like too much of a like standing up straight supervillain thing, because he already has like that whole thing going on.
Yeah.
But
I saw a leaked image, that you posted.
Oh
It was like a fake.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's fake. It was a fake.
It's totally
like,
fake. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was a fake like 3D mock-up of a Scovillain evolution, and I'm like, it's wearing clothes. It's just a man. I hate this.
It's
so
like
much.
supposed to be like a Western sheriff or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't really. I guess it kind of goes with
read
like it's like the opposite of a villain, but I don't know.
I
read it. I read it like a superhero, like a vigilante. That was an interesting read.
It is so tricky for me with Scovillain, because I love that it's like a outlaw, like a Wild West outlaw or something like that, and I love that. But then at the same time, it also, in my view, is like the most like straightforward way to do a pepper Pokemon, because like we saw concepts of pepper Pokemon for like years and years, and Scovillain is like exactly that. So it's like I hate that part of it, but I love that subtle little like Wild West vibe. And it's like that's kind of like a wild card for its design. So it's like I said, it could either go really well and they could like do a mega that like fleshes that out more and it could look awesome, or they could go in more of the direction that it kind of is going now, or they could just like botch that Western vibe and make it even worse.
Right.
So it's just like totally a toss up.
I had seen, Dusty pulled it up now. I had seen yours. I was going to bring up yours instantly because I got really excited when I saw your take on Scovillain. Because I want everything to become a dragon, essentially. Just everything.
Me too.
so I like want Scovillain to go like in more of a reptile direction, but yours is like very balanced in the sense where it's not too reptile. It's still a plant, and I think it's got to keep like the plant vibe because it is probably going to stay grass and fire, I would imagine. So like, I think it's more of like a plant with multiple heads. Makes so much sense. I would be so happy with this.
Yeah, so like I went with this direction because it's basically based on the fact that the two heads of Scovillain are based on the sock and buskin masks, which comes from Greek history, I guess. And so this is based on a Hydra, which is also Greek. And then it's just the idea of it's a pepper plant, so there's a bunch of peppers sprouting up everywhere. So that angle to me makes a lot of sense, and I'm kind of with you. Like if it became more of this like dragony type thing, to me that would be like peak. So
yeah
I feel
so
like
fingers crossed.
I really like this design too. I like, honestly, Hoops, just to kind of like shout you out for a moment, I love all your Mega Evolution designs, because something I have always complained about on this podcast of like just fan art in general of Mega Evolutions is oftentimes I feel like people go a little too hard with the Mega Evolutions, you know what I mean? Like they change the design way too much, whereas a Mega Evolution kind of, it's not like a true evolution, it just kind of continues some elements. And so I feel like yours are always perfect because they don't feel too like over dramatic. They feel real. They feel like, yeah, I could see this being what Mega Darkrai looks like, what Mega Crabominable looks like. I could see this. I think it's realistic, but it's also really cool.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, the Scovillain you did, Hoops, is definitely a really good direction because while it's still standing upright, I mean, you did encapsulate it. You have all these design inspirations, but I think just visually, it still feels like a plant. It also kind of has it just like multiplies the heads, which is the most defining characteristic of a Scovillain. And so it's like a chili pepper plant. It just has a bunch. It's just more peppers. It's like a fully overgrown plant. I think this is so sick. And I think the issue. So my one hesitation with all of these new Mega Evolutions that we're going to be getting, is that like this is the problem with all Mega Evolutions. It's like I'm super happy now, but what's going to happen in Generation 10? Are we losing these because Scovillain still feels incomplete and will forever feel incomplete if it doesn't have its Mega Evolution? We don't know what that's going to look like in Gen 10 and beyond, right? And when I say Gen 10, it's not this like ethereal, made-up thing 5 years from now. It's literally
It's next year, yeah.
It's next year, yeah. It's like when I put ZA down and I'm playing any other game after ZA and any other game after the DLC. Can I still use Scovillain, and still feel like it's a complete, form? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people had that feeling with Scovillain specifically. It's funny that we're talking about this, but I don't know how many people have said like, man, it just should have got an evolution instead. Because exactly what you just said. Like people think that a mega is temporary. It's always gonna still be Scovillain, which I'm okay with because I kind of always like Scovillain. But there's a little bit of something where it's like this could go further, So I don't know.
This art is so good. Shout out our Grey Wind.
Yeah, he's awesome. It's interesting with the Gen 9 mons because you guys talk a lot about like development timelines and things on here. And Scarlet, I can't remember when ZA started development, but basically it was like very concurrent with Scarlet and Violet. So it is very possible that they like developed these Mons at the same time they were kind of working on ZA, and they intentionally said, okay, we're not giving this an evolution because we want to give it a Mega later versus like leaving it alone for 10 years and then coming back to it. So they're kind of a unique situation with those Gen 9 Pokemon.
I think it makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what we've seen in the past is that, like, pretty much there is a constant role of Pokemon design creation, and things are, like, monsters are constantly being redeveloped and altered depending on the needs of the game. Things get not scrapped, but just, like, unused, and then they can show up later. And I think what I've been seeing over the last kind of, like, there's been a lot of, like, things popping up to kind of indicate to me that, like, I think Game Freak's thinking about like a 10, 20-year plan, not just for like game releases, but like, okay, let's introduce a Pokemon because it makes sense in this game, but let's leave it up, let's give it an evolution in the future. I think the first time I really felt this was, I think, in Generation 9 with Arcaludon and what was it, Diplin right?
Yeah.
Generation 8 Pokemon getting evolutions in Generation 9. That had not been done since Gen 4, maybe, right? So just like an evolution for the very previous generation Pokemon. So I don't know. And there's rumors of like a Legends Galar game, and I'm like, okay, if that is true, then that means like that means Game Freak put a game out and gave us a bunch of Pokemon with unanswered questions, and they're thinking, okay, you know what? In 8 years, we'll actually revisit this, right? Where every other remake or Legends game is always like kind of a retroactive, like they dive deep into the archives and like try to make sense of, you know what I'm saying? They try to make sense of things that just don't make sense. I'm a little off topic, but yeah,
no, but I mean,
I love this.
I love the idea of what Hoops brought up and kind of what you're saying, Dusty, which is something changed, I guess. Something changed. I don't think that it's a good sign that they're not like, oh, we're going to do this and then we'll wait like 10 years until we do something with it. Like, they probably had the idea to like give it another form. Like, let's just use Scovillain, for example. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll give it an evolution, but like, it'll be like 3 games from now, but instead it's like Hoops said, maybe I would even say, Hoops, that they could have made an evolution for it in Scarlet and Violet and been like, we have too many Pokemon, or like too many designs for this game already. Let's just move it to the next game. Instead of saving it for 10 years, let's move it to the next game and make it a Mega Evolution instead of an evolution, which actually excites me, because then, something like Scovillain or Glamora, even Tatsugiri, I guess, could be like more of an evolution instead of a Mega Evolution design. They would tweak it a little bit, and obviously I don't know. It could be the opposite, like what you said, where they're like, let's make it a Mega Evolution, originally. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to think about for sure, and I love the implications that it's like we don't have to wait. We can just do it right away. The fans want things right away, like they have for years. I think they're actually listening to the fans a lot of times. So
it took 30 years, but no, that idea of like, that is so cool. That just like the idea of, that's just so exciting. That means like any Pokemon that they give us, it's not off the table for it to receive another evolution or a new form.
Right.
Like we're looking at these Gen 9 Pokemon getting Mega Evolutions, but what if Scovillain gets a regional form in Generation 10, right?
Yeah.
And I'm focusing on Scovillain, but like any Gen 9 it's just cool because it's like when you go on, like, I don't know, I remember when Scarlet and Violet came out. We're so off topic right now. When Scarlet and Violet came out, it was so cool. It still is, to see all of these fans show up and make regional forms and Paradox Pokemon for like Tinkatuff and like all these like brand new Pokemon. And it's exciting to see, but you're like, this will never happen. But it actually could happen is kind of what we're realizing with this Mega Dimension.
I do think that there's still a limit. I think that they wouldn't give Scovillain a regional form right away after giving it a Mega Evolution, but you never know.
No, I'm focusing on Scovillain, but I think
as an example,
this is an example of the fact that they would give these Pokemon extra treatment. So maybe not Scovillain, but pick any other. Lechonk could get a regional form, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's who I thought of too. When you were like, pick another, I was like Lechonk, and you said Lechonk.
I want to see regional Smoliv. All right, let's get back on track. We got this list of Mega Pokemon. Okay, yeah, I guess this will take too long if we go through every single Pokemon. But we have the Generation 9 Pokemon.
I did want to say on like to circle it back to what we were talking about. I think Glamora is another exciting mega on this list, and
For sure.
Potential's really cool because one thing people have pointed out is that like when it unfolds, if you will, it kind of looks similar to like the Ultimate Weapon. But then also, even aside from that, Glamora is so heavily tied to the Terrestrial phenomenon, like second to Terapagos only. When you defeat Glamora, you get, the Glimmet shards, I think, whatever they are, the Glimmet material that you then use to make Terra Blast. That's the material you need to make the TM Terra Blast. So it's cool to see a Pokemon so heavily tied to another gimmick beginning this gimmick. Like that's, I don't know, it's really exciting to me. It makes me think that cool. Like they might have something really cool cooked up for this one.
Dude, you're totally right. Look at this picture. I mean, this is just like it's like a 3D render, but this is what Glamora looks like when it's like in its flower state.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that is so cool. You're right.
The Ultimate Weapon, man.
Dude, yeah. Okay, so like, what would an evolution be? Maybe Glamora is like affected by, if it's undergone Mega Evolution, I could see it looking kind of like. Oh, I could see it kind of looking like with those flowers, the Ange Floette or something. Mm-hmm. It turns into like a giant maw.
Yeah, I mean, it already kind of is, even.
What do you think, Hoops?
Well, just going along with that, I think it's really interesting as far as what it could become because of what Lumi said and because of the fact that, like, it's kind of like a story Pokemon. Like, it's not quite, but it's kind of along the lines of, like, a Paradox or even, like, a box legendary in terms of like, it's like very apparent that something is going on with this Pokemon in terms of the plot and lore. So that kind of ups it a notch in terms of like how important this Pokemon is. And so if it's like that important, I feel like the mega of it is also going to take on some like extra weight in terms of how they design it and what they do with it. So I do think it could be pretty crazy.
You know what's crazy? I was just thinking about it. This kind of supports your whole theory too, Hoops, about them having these designs in Gen 9, actually. Because back in Gen 9 days, I did tons of speculation. I don't think we did even, like, about how Glamora was going to get, like, its own special form, or, like, that there was, like, these rumored Terrestrial forms, and, like, Glamora is going to be one 100% because it has so much, like, connection and lore to Terrestrial. And it's just, like, maybe it really was created and it was moved to this, essentially, because it is interesting that it's here. Like, in any other world, like, it's not going to get a form for a while because we're not going back to Paldea for a while. So it's like, maybe they just didn't want to save it, and maybe they are like, hey, we were going to give this thing a form, but let's do it now instead as a mega. So that's really really interesting. Sorry to go back, but I was just thinking about it.
It could get like maybe there was a planned what are they even called? Just like a special form for Ogerpon is the only thing, and Terapagos is the only thing with a special terrestrialization.
There were technically terrestrial forms with Ogerpon and Terapagos, but they're just specific to them.
Exactly. They had forms, so it's like, what if these other Pokemon like Glamora were supposed to have a form or something, and it just never panned out. And so that's really, really cool. It's just the concept of Pokemon that are so recent getting additions is just great to see. And before we go any like further, because I know we're going to get some comments, we are recording this on the 18th. We are supposed to get a new trailer on the 19th. So I'm assuming we're going to get one or two new Pokemon.
Yeah.
There's no purpose in predicting that now, because when people are listening to this, it'll already be out. But let us know in the comments.
We should
like the new Pokemon.
We should do a quick prediction of what we think they'll drop tomorrow. Because what I think is going to happen is we got that little that diagram that they showed where it's like November 19th we're going to get news, and then it said coming soon like after that. So it feels like they're going to do like two more. I think what'll happen is tomorrow we'll get 1 to 2, like you said. I think we'll get like a similar to what we got last week. So Scovillain's a possibility, Staraptor, Pokemon like that. And then the coming soon, like the last trailer, is going to be one of the 3 like Absol, Garchomp, or Lucario.
Yes, I agree.
Has, like the that already has one.
There's like implications with that, so
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see if we're right or wrong.
Yeah, no, because it's exciting. I'm excited to see like what they call those. Lucario,
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Garchomp,
Right.
and Staraptor. Is it
Mega Z?
Is it A? Because it's ZA. It could be Mega
Right.
Lucario A even.
Dude,
you know?
if they're A forms, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's like they have to almost retcon if they do. Like they could. What they should do is retcon and be like, this was Mega Lucario X and this new one is Mega Lucario Y. That's what they should do. But because there's already a canonized X and Y megas, right? So that would make sense. But they could just do Z, and then like the other one just doesn't have a letter, I guess, like the main universe one, I suppose.
Okay, is this? Has anyone ever said this? I've been offline. Has anyone ever said this? I think this is what it's going to be. We have Zygarde, obviously, right? The game's called ZA. We have Zygarde. Ange Floette is the A. So we got Z versus A. It's Zygarde versus Ange Floette. And when Ange Floette explodes and fires off all those Mega Stones, I think one of these Pokemon with a second Mega Evolution could be Z for like our current universe. Maybe Lucario is Mega Lucario Z, and it's like it already exists because like whatever her name is, Karina already has it. But then maybe Garchomp and Absol are Mega Garchomp A, right? Because they're from this new wave of Mega Evolutions fired off by Ange Floette.
Yeah,
that'd be
That's
cool.
my prediction. Lock it in.
I think it's gonna depend like on where they originate from is how they'll get their names. You know what I mean? Because like maybe they're from the firing of. I mean, they could be from the firing of Ange. They could be from the firing of even the Ultimate Weapon 5 years ago, or they could just be found in the new dimensions.
Yeah, just like randomly.
What I actually hope happens is like. Oh, dude. I mean, and it might not even be real because we've already seen like Mega Excalibur and Chimecho and Raichu. They've already all been announced. But I think it'd be so cool if they're like so randomly. Where's my list? Mega Golurk is like Mega Golurk G. Meowstic, Mega Meowstic M. Crabominable, Mega Crabominable C. And again, just to indicate that that these are all different mega dimensions or there's all these different versions of our reality that we're getting access to. To
be honest, that's your theory. You've had it for a while, and I think it's the most logical. It's the most logical theory because it's the easiest way to like
just
name
illustrate.
them. Yeah,
to illustrate that they're from different dimensions. Because we go to Hyperspace Lumios, but basically, if Hoopa is opening a portal, and I just did the what is that, Doctor Strange? I just did the Doctor Strange
I didn't even
thing.
realize you were doing that.
I didn't even mean to do that. Okay, so if Hoopa's opening a portal, he's got to eat certain donuts, right? And so Hoopa's eating certain donuts, and that changes his like. That'll basically change what version of Hyperspace Lumios that we go to, and I think again a great way to illustrate that is you get all of these different megas, but just give them a different letter. And I said this in my video, which I'm hyped is actually doing super well. But I'll say it on the podcast. Like, I feel like it's not even a stretch because there were 26 new megas in the base game and there's 26 letters in an alphabet. And this game is called Z2A. Like, it's literally it's stupid, but it's a like, to illustrate, and also they say in the game, the X, Y, and Z are the different points on the axis that are different lines, right? Crossing. They're different lives, different experiences, different, people and Pokemon crossing together, meeting paths. They say that in the game. And
like
so this
X and Y axes or something.
Yeah. And I think that's a little stupid and shoe-handed, but it is supported by a lot of what is in the game. The explanation with the X, Y, and Z, it's a little silly, but it is explained. It's supported by all the events in Legend ZA. So again, just an easy way to illustrate this. I think, and it would just be fun to see like you get Mega Zeraora and it's Mega Zeraora Z, Mega Scovillain S. Doesn't matter. It's just Mega Scovillain, but it's Mega Scovillain S. But maybe that's a pipe dream because it's not Mega Excalibur B.
I
Or
think the
Mega
only
China Echo
issue
C.
with that is like if you're encountering these in games, I think by them giving them a letter, like what you're saying you're excited about is the implications that there could be others, But I think the issue is it might make, like if I'm playing this game and I catch Golurk and I eventually get this Mega Golurk G and say Golurk is my favorite Pokemon. It isn't, but let's say it is for a moment. Now I'm like,
It's a good
well,
Pokemon.
this is Mega Golurk G, so I need to find the other Mega Golurk. There's got to be probably one other, so I think that can maybe get confusing unless you know, like we do, you know what I mean? Like where we look at this stuff.
I don't think it's as, for me, I don't think it's any more confusing than like Mega Raichu X or Mega Raichu Y, right?
Yeah, but there are two, you know what I mean? Like if I find Mega Raichu X, the assumption
but there's
would
26...
be there's another Mega Raichu.
Sure.
And see, that's another reason that's like, would they, for Lucario, Garchomp, and Absol, would they just go, this is Y, and the other one that we've already had is now going to be retconned as X?
Sure, yeah, I guess that's maybe the safest bet, that they're just going to retcon the... But would they I feel like Game Freak never wants to retcon Pokemon names and stuff, Yeah,
especially something that old. Like, I mean, this is, 12 years old?
Yeah. You have any thoughts, Hoops?
I do. So this kind of goes against your theory that you're talking about. But one thing that they did more recently with the Diancie event is they kind of cleared up some of the Mega Evolution lore, and they talked about how the initial Megas were basically created when the Ultimate Weapon fired off. And Emma talks about how it came from the energy that the Ultimate Weapon fired that was taken from the legendary Pokemon Xerneas and Yveltal. And then the new Megas were created when the Ultimate Weapon fired off in X and Y. So it kind of like established sort of a timeline there and like how new Megas are created. So I think the way that the Megas of the Pokemon that have multiple Megas could be labeled could have to do with like the specific firing of the Ultimate Weapon that created them. So like Mega Charizard X and Y, the X and Y Megas are created by the Xerneas Ultimate Weapon firing and the Yveltal Ultimate Weapon firing. And then these new ones potentially could be Z, because you have like Zygarde blasting Ainge's firing or whatever, and it creates all that energy. And so that could sort of be like a label to say that this Mega Lucario was created by this firing of the Ultimate Weapon or Ange, and then like the X and Y Raichu or Mewtwo or Charizard were created by that firing of the Ultimate Weapon.
Right. That does make sense.
Because then it kind of correlates with like the legendary Pokemon that helped to kind of like make them, like that supplied the energy, So
Sure, yeah,
and that's
definitely logical. Yeah,
I like that a lot, Hoops. And I'm on the website right now, and the blurb at on Mega Raichu is, it says like 2 separate Mega Evolutions of Raichu have been newly discovered, and that is always how they describe new Pokemon. So at any point, they could just be like, these are newly discovered, because they've always existed, or because they are literally brand new and we've just discovered them. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just
Super
the only
fun.
the only thing with it that confuses us, I'd probably say, is like, they're in a different dimension. So that's the only thing that's like, where, and that might be the explainer in itself. It's just like, we don't have to explain where these came from, because it's just another dimension that is like different from our world. So that's it. Like, there could just be like a situation that happened in that dimension, or these are just naturally birthed in this dimension for some reason. Those are like, because if these were from like when Ange went off, then they would probably be in our dimension, or it could just be like, when Ange went off, these were created in that dimension. It gets super like in the weeds about it all, but it's like, it's very interesting, no less. And I think Game Freak probably won't go too in depth on how they were created.
They'll give
just
us
like a
it
line.
would be a little
explanation.
ambiguous,
Yeah.
Like
sure.
even with the whole Emma side quest, she even says, like with Diancie, she even says it is speculated, and so like it's very clearly Game Freak's way of telling you like this is how it went down. But it's also like, it felt like to me them leaving enough wiggle room to where if they make X2, Y2, XY remakes one day, they can go, never mind. Because like that was something that people kind of debated on back then, was like with X and Y. Sycamore said, "Oh, the ultimate weapon created Megastones," but then in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they're like, "No, they're like from space." Because, and you know, like Sycamore's like, Mega Lucario is the first Pokemon to Mega Evolve, and then Norris, they're like, "No, it was Mega Rayquaza," and you can kind of make sense of that by like going, okay, well, Mega Rayquaza was the first to Mega Evolve, Mega Lucario was the first to Mega Evolve, like under a trainer, like with a Keystone and Megastone in the sense that it does, but yeah, It's. I think they like to leave it intentionally ambiguous. But either way, this means that Pokemon fans are horrible people, because when we sit around and we wish for new Mega Evolutions, that means we are wishing for a new tragedy.
Well, you're putting that on me a little bit.
Is it a tragedy, though, if we get new Megas out of it?
Exactly.
That's true.
What is another region wiped out if we get Mega Lucario Z?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Pokemon sacrificing their life force.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah, no, all of it. All of the above.
That's a big one.
That's funny.
But yeah, I don't think we solved the question of what these new like secondary megas will be named. I have no idea.
We
just have to wait and see.
I just hope it's something fun.
Hard to figure out.
Yeah. I hope they kind of twist it a little bit, because like I don't know. I guess also like if they're like they introduced this Mega Evolution. Like I'm thinking about this DLC. It's like this is a re-entry of this idea, right? So them introducing Mega Raichu X and Y as the poster childs of this DLC, that is like, that could be for a very specific reason. That could just because it's like Pikachu and it's also cool, but it could also be like, okay, we're telling you that there's an X and Y. Like there can be Pokemon with multiple Mega Evolutions, and then they just kind of twist it. Because it's also like, I don't know, dude. This game is called ZA. Why is there no Mega Z Pokemon? Come on. That's like all we want.
You would think
I just feel like
even
it's gotta
Zygarde,
happen.
like if they called it Mega Zygarde Z.
That is the Mega Z Pokemon.
Yeah. No, but that's the Mega XYZ Pokemon. It literally...
True.
Mega Floette is the Mega A. There you go.
Yeah.
So truly, the true
Done
Mega
deal.
Zs and Mega As were the friends we made along the way.
Mega Floette A form would be Ange Floette.
Yeah. There you go.
I wish.
So, okay. So, yeah. All right. So going back to this list, I guess I've seen some really cool art go around, and it's let's talk about these 3 Pokemon that are going to be getting new Mega Evolutions. Absol is just a Dark type. It has a Mega. Everyone thinks it's Fairy type, but it's not Fairy type. And Absol's whole thing is that it predicts disasters. It's actually supposed. It's like kind of positioned as like an angel of death. Like it's actually trying to help out. And like warn, maybe not Angel of Death. I mean, that's probably the wrong description, but it. I
mean, it's definitely got angel vibes in there, and
Yeah.
since it warns of destruction, I think Angel of Death is fitting.
Angel of Warning. Well, the angels are just like, that's what they do. They like herald or like bring warnings or messages.
Okay.
I think it means messenger, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Angel. But yeah, so that's probably where all that comes from. The whole like it being an angel in a sense. So an opposite Mega, because I do want to say, like, I think that these Megas will be very different from their already previous Megas to differentiate them as much as possible. I just said opposite Megas. I would go as far to say that they could be like opposite Megas, where it's like this one is completely the opposite of that other one that we've had for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think that is the way we should think about this. So if we have base Absol right here, where it's just this like dog, its face resembles yin and yang.
That's a big thing too that I think they might go into. Just makes sense.
And then its Mega Evolution doesn't do much with the yin and yang, but instead gives it wings. That's its base evolution. And I had never thought about this until right now. And that's the great thing about this podcast. As we talk about things, these things, I can kind of like, it's just fun to like kind of discover things. There's an image of Absol on the Bulbapedia where it's expanding its horn in the anime. And I'm like, of course, it has a giant sword on its head. I could 100% see this new Mega Evolution not giving Absol wings, but instead it gets a giant horn, and then also what I've seen is that basically its fur and colors could be inverted. So now it's got black fur and like white accent colors, inverting the yin and yang. But then again, not giving it wings again, because that would be that's just like the same thing. Instead, giving it this giant, like the horn on its head, just making that huge. And that would be pretty intimidating. Like,
no, I think that makes sense too, because like the opposite of an angel is often seen as like a demon, right?
Dude,
and so
it's like
a
the Grim
horn,
Reaper.
Yeah, it is a
It's a
scythe.
scythe. It looks like a
Yeah.
scythe.
Yeah,
It is a scythe.
That's tough.
100%.
very good
one-
sharpness as an ability.
One thing I think is also very possible with these megas is if you look at the 3 Pokemon that have multiple megas that we know of, which is Mewtwo, Charizard, and Raichu, every single one of those, they have one mega that is like your traditional expected mega, and then they have another one that looks like way different. So like Mega Charizard X, Mega Mewtwo Y, and then Mega Raichu Y, I think, the Pikachu one. So I think because these Pokemon's megas right now are kind of like that standard form, that these 3 new ones could be like that different one that goes in a like crazy direction and like changes things
Yeah.
up.
Maybe it gets
Yeah.
a new type.
Yeah. Which I think is also, it kind of depends Pokemon to Pokemon, but I think that is likely because, well, we didn't see it with Raichu, we saw it with Mewtwo and Charizard, and it just kind of makes sense because it's like, if you have 2 forms, it is a bit redundant to have them both have the same type, because it's like, outside of stats, you really don't have a reason to choose one over the other. So I think that is something for at least like 1 or 2 of them we could definitely see.
100%, man. I think we cracked it with Absol. I didn't put that together, but like, if the colors invert so its fur is black and it gets the Grim Reaper horn on its head, literally it becomes the Grim Reaper. That is so sick.
Yeah.
I don't know what the new type would be though.
That would be like,
I mean, I'd be happy with Ghost. I had
If-
no ghosts on my team.
like think about this for a second. So put all that together. It all fits.
Let's get
really
our Greywind
perfectly.
on this. He's got to make this.
Black, Grim Reaper, Dark Ghost, Absol. That is a top 5 Pokemon of all time. Like,
It's true.
Yeah, dude, 100%. 100%.
For real.
I'm kind of like in love with this also. That's so sick.
Yeah, no, I agree. I hope so. Like I said, I didn't have a single ghost type or even ghost type move on my whole team in ZA, which is a me
Skill
problem.
issue. Yeah.
My
But-
Greninja knows Shadow Sneak, and that's it. I tried to use Trevenant, but I'm not getting rid of that. Oh, my Meganium hit level 100 last night. So
Nice.
I'm ready for the Mega Dimension. I'm ready for level 200.
You're ready to get all those calories.
Yeah, dude. So he's going to be eaten.
Nice.
All right. We also have Garchomp. So Garchomp could go like a million different ways. What
Yeah,
I've seen,
Garchomp's hard to-
what do you guys think? It could go a lot of different ways.
It's tough to think of.
Yeah.
Because you're like, it can be anything. We don't have any hints or anything. It's literally your imagination can run
I've
wild.
seen, yeah,
I-
and it's
there's
got
some
a
hints.
lot of, it's
There's
got
some
a lot
hints.
of like different, because like usually like a Mega Evolution kind of takes one aspect of it and leans into it, right? And with Garchomp, there's so many different directions because like it's a shark, so there's automatically like there's fish elements and stuff.
Yes.
It's a dragon, there's draconic elements. It's tied to like because it's the ground type, so sand, things like that. But then also it's a jet,
It
so
can fly.
yeah.
Dragon flying, ground flying.
Would you be surprised to see it lose a dragon type and become flying ground? Because
Yes.
I just had a thought about that, just like, or even water ground, like that it becomes more of a fish instead of a dragon. Because I'm thinking about the opposite thing, right? So like Mega Garchomp that we have is like really just leans deeper into being a dragon Garchomp, standing up, being much more draconic in vibes, like the teeth on the chest and everything, than a shark. And I mean, it kind of always was that Garchomp, but I could just see it becoming more of like a fish vibe or more of a plane and then losing a dragon type. I don't know. That just came to me right now.
No,
but-
100%. No, I put up a short on my channel a little while ago. The water type, I feel like that's my lock. Dragon water type, Garchomp will become an actual shark again. I'm looking at Garchomp. I never thought about this, but I don't think Garchomp even, to me, feels like a proper ground type. I think they gave Garchomp the ground type for the same reason they gave Zygarde the ground type. It is just a fish of the earth. It walks. It is on land, therefore it's ground type. It's the literal ground, not something that can control. It's not an elemental ground type. I don't feel like it is. I just don't think the design makes it look like that. So I think they got to. I don't see a world where they get rid of the dragon type and not the ground type.
They just also had like a really big thing back then, Gym 4 and Gym 5, for taking aquatic animals and making them like desert based instead. You know, you have Garchomp, you have Hippowdon, you have Crocodile, you have Crustle. You know,
you got
Stunfisk.
Yeah. Cacturn.
Hoops' favorite.
Not really. It doesn't count. Yeah.
Who's my favorite?
Stunfisk.
Oh. I actually, I like 5 to 10 years ago, because I've been doing this for so long, I hated Stunfisk, but it's weird because it's like, it is like worn me down to the point where I'm like, maybe I was kind of harsh.
Whoa. This is a great episode. Very happy to have Hoops on, but I need to take a moment to thank all the wonderful people that make this show possible.
It is a pretty good episode.
It's a very good episode. We're cooking. We are cooking.
We're cooking right now.
But the kitchen's getting hot. I need to step out for some air. So I'm going to take a moment to thank all the lovely people supporting this show. Specifically, I want to shout out our mythical tier supporters. Ryan Amphosinus, Cornet Highlander, Tyler Low 15, Normal Guy, Case, Doom Typhlosion, Gray Williams, Duke Norton, Nicholas Taylor, SEH Art Gold, Louis Gervais, Ball Guy, Father Dagda, Slowbroke Fan 24, and the Pokey Kid 01. Want to give a special shout out to our Arceus tier supporter, Red Carson K, and I want to give a Mega Evolve shout out to our Game Freak Inc. level supporters, Bramtastic, Young Smokey, and Young Smokey. I didn't stutter there. Bramtastic, Young Smokey, and Young Smokey, because Young Smokey is a supporter on both Patreon and YouTube, which is insane. Thank you all so much.
Guys, this show is growing. You guys continue to show up. Just to be transparent, this money goes to supporting literally all the expenses that we have to keep this show running, so we can upload multiple times a week. We've got a staff of people helping us out. We've got an editor. Shout out to you, Royce, watching this video right now. This show is Hidden Power Podcast. And everything that we do, everything that Hidden Power produces is not possible without your funding. And you can do so on Patreon or right here on YouTube. Links are in the description. You can help out for just as $5, as little as $5 a month at our legendary tier. You get access to 4 bonus podcasts every single week.
So much content.
You'll get access to the Discord, that's where our whole community hangs out. There's like over 500 people in there. We're doing a live call-in show very soon related to the DLC. So that's something you can literally call in and be on an episode of
Actually, we've already done it when this is out.
Oh, too bad. Well, the next one's coming out. There'll be another one.
Yeah, there'll be more.
You get 10% off merch, and at that second tier, at Box Legendary, we will send you a holiday card this year. We're going to be we're collecting addresses, and we're shipping out original art commissioned for this holiday gift. There will be an exclusive written, personalized letter on the back. This is going to come in an envelope. There's going to be little goodies inside of the envelope. We're going to ship it right to your house. It's like a little kiss from us. Hidden Power, the boys at Hidden Power, to you for the holidays. And any tier above that, Mythical or Arceus or Game Freak Incorporated, we will be shouting you out and giving you producer credits on every single podcast during the month that you are supporting. We love you guys so much. Again, this show is not possible without you. We are independent, but we are growing, and it's all because of you. So thank you so much. And back to the episode. What were you saying, Hoops? We interrupted you.
Because it's just like this derpy thing, and that's why I hated it. But now I'm just like,
you've matured. You've grown up.
Yeah, but it's funny because it's like it does what it sets out to do well. Because there was a moment in ZA where I was doing the Royale, and there was a trainer, but there was no Pokemon. I was like, where the heck is their Pokemon? But they had a Stunfisk, and I couldn't see it because it was just flat on the ground. It was really funny.
Absolutely.
It was really funny. So I was like, okay, you got me. That's kind of funny.
No,
Didn't mean to
Stunfisk is
derail
pretty
us,
good.
but-
Stunfisk is pretty good. Yeah, I've come around to it a lot as well. It is it's pretty much everywhere in ZA,
And it's funny.
It is the Paris of Lumios.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like what Galarian Stunfisk does, and I know this is off topic, but like it becomes like the mimic of like Galar, kind of like Voltorb or Electrode. And Stunfisk was, I feel like Stunfisk was sort of supposed to be that too, because if you look at it, it's got that exclamation point on its body where it's like, aha, gotcha. So it's kind of like it was supposed to do that too. But then it just like got fleshed out more with Galarian Stunfisk. So,
I never noticed that. You're right. I see that.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it is? It's
a footprint.
Yeah, I guess it does look like an exclamation point, but it also kind of looks like a footstep.
Sure.
Like
Yeah,
right? It's
it
like
does.
you're walking and you walk
Yeah, because
onto
the
it.
Galarian even has like Pokemon
Dude.
footprints. So it's like
Yeah.
one's a human
No.
trap, one's a Pokemon trap.
yeah, because it's like the heel of the foot and then like the main part of
Yes.
the foot. That actually, like,
that's
if that
cool.
that actually is cool if that's like legit.
And you're supposed to like
it
step
is.
on it, and then it shocks you, I guess.
Right? Yeah.
Or it looks
That's-
like a footstep in mud if it's ground type.
Right.
Bro, this is
We just made Stunfisk peak.
this is Stunfisk lore. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is great. I love this.
To bring us back, I think it is criminal that Stunfisk is not on this list. I would have unironically loved Mega Stunfisk.
I feel like
Yeah, right here.
Stunfisk. I feel like Stunfisk is officially the new Dunsparce, and then it's like this is a stupid Pokemon that has nothing. Like, give it a evolution, like make it epic or whatever. And I think the longer we go on, the more it's going to be like, okay, this Pokemon should have something. And I just hope whenever that happens that they don't. This is going to sound bad to Soul, but I hope they don't go the Dunsparce direction. I want the stereotypically like just over the top cool for the sake of cool evolution, which I know is
Stunfisk
No,
needs
bro, you're
to
talking-
become a dragon.
Yes.
It would be
Yeah,
trash.
see, you're speaking my language, bro. You're talking the opposite. If Stunfisk becomes a crazy cool Pokemon, then I'm down. You know,
Yeah, you just like to.
I would have liked
my
that for
God,
Dunsparce too.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, but yeah, that would be cool. Anyways, we're off.
So
Garchomp.
Mega Gar. So there's this really cool art online. I think
Speaking of cool dragons,
and the artist is forgetting the name right now. It is Dingo Doggo #2. Check them out on Twitter. They make some of the coolest 3D. They're basically making these Fakemon in the game. So like you can imagine these Pokemon as if there are in Legends ZA. It's so cool. But this design that they made makes Garchomp a fire type. But yeah, my whole point is that Garchomp reads like a dragon first, and it just walks. That's why it's ground type. And so I think the most logical thing is that they make Garchomp pull back to, like Lumi said, it's shark DNA, right? Which is what Mega Evolutions do. And now we have an aquatic dragon water type Garchomp, which is still busted. That's a great type. That's what I want to see the most. It like because it's a hammerhead shark, right? Make it look like an actual shark.
it could be.
And it already flies, right? So now instead of flying, now it's swimming. But it's
If
like
I'm-
flying, swimming. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, so someone had like looked at their move sets in this game in Legends ZA, Garchomp, Absol, and Lucario to
Yeah,
like
this is a good
see
theory.
if maybe they got any kind of new type, like any new move or anything. And if I'm not mistaken with Garchomp, it was that it now by level up. So it got it before, but now it's by level up, it gets Crunch.
Like
That'd
a
be such a
shark?
twist, man.
I could
It
see
could just
it
have like a
'cause
giant jaw.
It Dark kind of just leans into what Garchomp's already doing with just like the edgy vibes. So I could see that.
Oh,
for
you guys
sure.
are thinking it's gonna get a dark type. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Dragon
I
dark.
was not okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But it also too, it could, to your point, Dusty, maybe it is not a sign of the type per se, but of the direction the Mega will go, and that's like more focused on the
Yeah.
biting of it, like the shark aspect. You know, that's a big thing that sharks are known for, is biting. So
Yeah,
and that's
I guess
that's something
it
too
could
that
go-
calls back to like the original thing. Like Gibble was very Like the majority of Gibble's body is its mouth. You know?
Yeah.
There
That's
was
true. You're right. It could look like Gibble. It could just become it could just get a giant skull.
there was a
So it's for alligator redone.
there was a mega somewhere on here when you looked up Mega Garchomp. It was like on the 3rd row, so I don't know if it's still here, but it
try
does
to find
that.
it.
It gets Gibble's body as like armor.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
It's
I know which
super,
one you're talking about.
It's super good.
That's hilarious because people were saying like
that
we
one.
don't want this because it's like mega for
I would
alligator.
I
It's
would
kinda cool.
I would
I think
love
it's actually
that.
kinda cool.
I would love that.
I think it's funny.
like this.
that looks
for
super
sure.
cool.
Because
Yeah,
it's
see,
heavy.
there's so many things.
Really
There's so many
defensive.
things going on that you could like pull in because it's like a lot. We figured out that a lot of Mega Evolution designs pull from their previous evolutions, so that could definitely play a factor in this. And then there's the whole moves thing where like they kind of have to have a certain moves because I don't think they add moves to their move pool. So it's like dark, or whatever other moves that he has. And then he's got a jet thing, like base Garchomp flies, which is the weirdest thing that they added onto him.
Yeah.
It wasn't really, I feel like the anime did it more than anything. Like I don't remember Garchomp being like,
I think
I
it was
fly.
always in its dex entries. I think.
Yeah, I never saw it. Like I did not know it flew until Generation 7. Like literally this scene in the anime where it's flying with everything else. I had no idea. I thought that was like mind breaking.
Yeah, because it's a ground type.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's a ground type. Why is it flying?
It's so.
What is the point of having ground type if it flies?
Yeah.
So it could get a flying type.
There's a lot to it, and then obviously it's a shark, so it's like you should be in the water, shouldn't you?
Dude,
I think a dark type. You guys bring up dark type, and I think that would be a letdown. I would be disappointed if it got a
For
dark
sure.
type.
what if it became like a megalodon type thing where it's just like it goes even more shark and it's just like this behemoth of a Pokemon.
That's sick.
That would be sick.
That
right,
could tie in
Mega-
with the whole Gibble thing because it could be like really Gibble looking in that kind of form, like a big Gibble head thing.
And it's literally called Megalodon.
Oh
Megalodon.
yes,
Mega. It's a mega.
Megalodon.
How happy are you
yes.
going to be when you nailed this one, Hoops?
Yes.
Like,
That
this
was
is
good.
definitely possible.
That was good.
We're kind of
You
cooking.
called it here first.
Yeah, we're
Look,
cooking.
this is ZA gameplay right here.
It's
Yeah.
gonna get. This is gonna be the one that's revealed tomorrow, and so everybody's gonna be like, "Hoops just saw it. They recorded this after."
Yeah.
dude, I had that happen when I reposted some Mega Kalos starters that I did literally 3 years ago, and I was just like, hey, these are kind of the exact same, and everyone was like, you did these after blah blah blah, and it's just, it's just. It's
Check the
annoying.
times.
Yeah, check the
Check the dates.
timestamp. I got receipts.
For sure.
Yeah.
I remember
You did
actually
nail it, dude.
you got Baxcalibur's like overall
Yeah,
design idea
Yeah.
with like the sword through him,
Being
even like the
pierced.
little hilt at the bottom. I was like,
yeah. That was
dang.
like a week before, so not quite as recent, but yeah, it was crazy. And
Still.
I like what they did with Mega Baxcalibur because it's like it's always so in its base form, it's really stiff, which I do not like, even though I know it has a purpose because it's like the old school Godzilla.
Yeah.
But when it hunches over like this, it feels much more natural, and I just like it way more. So
Yeah.
100%.
shout out,
I think we all agree.
shout out,
Shout out Garchomp.
I'd also like to correct myself. Garchomp does get crunch naturally anyway, so it actually doesn't have any new like moves per se in its level up, but Lucario does now get Bulldoze by level up.
And Dragon Balls.
That would be lame. I don't want a ground type for Lucario. I mean,
Yeah.
it would make
Yeah, I mean-
sense because it's got like Egypt vibes, but
Yeah,
if you're gonna do that, go like Ghost or something. Don't.
Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah, I think
it
there's-
always got Dragon Pulse through level up.
Are you saying new ones that they added?
Yeah, like new ones that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
added to its level up set. Like it could get
And
Bulldoze
you mean
by
new ones-
TM, but
So this would be new ones in ZA or new ones in the
Right.
DLC data mine?
in ZA, we don't know anything about the DLC,
Okay.
but in ZA, it now gets Bulldoze like naturally through level up. Normally, Lucario could only learn it by TM.
Okay.
Like in Scarlet and Violet, it could only get it by TM, but now it gets it through natural level up. You could argue that it was like a replacement for Bone Rush, because used
Yes.
to it would get Bone Rush as kind of a ground move.
Yeah. No, that is interesting to think about, like the moves they learn, because like my Meganium learns all these fairy moves now, obviously because it
Exactly.
gets a fairy type.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually that's not that's a pretty good. I like that sleuthing. That's nice.
But ground also, I feel like you could make the argument for it just because Lucario does have like a lot of Egyptian vibes to it, and if they wanted to lean into that, Egypt is a lot of sand. There's a lot of sand there.
I think all I'm saying is like Lucario, Garchomp, even Absol. It's like mostly Lucario and Garchomp, right? Are fan favorites, and I think their megas are pretty. Actually, honestly, all of their I guess all three of these Pokemon, their megas are pretty cookie cutter. It's exactly what you would expect, and I am looking at these alternate forms as an opportunity to kind of go off the wall.
Right.
Like it's just kind of cool to think like, because every Pokemon has something in its design where you're like, okay, maybe that's a design inspiration, but it doesn't really affect the type. It doesn't affect how it battles. But these Pokemon, like Lucario, the idea of Lucario, it's the aura Pokemon, right? Having it pull on a ghost type, a dragon type, a psychic type, doing something mystical, right? It's an like even Garchomp potentially becoming a dragon water type is such a crazy idea. Think about Mewtwo getting a fighting type or Charizard getting a dragon type. Like that is so awesome. And it would be it would just be a bummer if we end up with, I don't know, just an Absol that's another dark type, a Garchomp that now is not a dragon. I'm like, okay, what? Why would no one ask for this? Or even Lucario just getting ground type. It's like, that's not what we wanted.
Right,
I want to see something
You
special.
got to brace yourself though at the same time, because Game Freak
Sure.
just
Sometimes
we got two pure electric Raichus like for no reason.
think-
Like they should
but
be
their
split.
designs are crazy. I'm like happy with their designs. I think the designs are kind of off the wall.
Yeah, but you're talking about types right now, right?
I am.
So it's
No,
like-
I am.
yeah.
But the type is. You're right. I guess I'm more interested in. Yeah, the type is the type is sweet because then that helps it feel like a brand new Pokemon. But I still think that the form, like as long as the designs are crazy, I think I will be happy. Because they could still access some of those moves. But yes, yeah.
I wouldn't be
is a
surprised to
bummer.
see Absol stay dark. That's my one guess for them. But the other
Yeah.
two might change, I'd say.
I definitely,
Anyway.
I definitely think. First off, I think probably Mega Raichu X should have got the fighting type. Like one of them should have got a different type or an additional type. It should have been fighting type because it even mentions that they like get like fighting power or something like that. So that definitely should have happened. But I
fists are
feel
like
like
this big.
this is something that Lumi has said. I feel like the reason they didn't is because they have possibly given Zeraora the fighting type because it's another one that's getting a Mega. It also has been like, this should be a fighting type. And for whatever reason, maybe they wanted to give it the fighting type more than one of these guys, and they didn't want like two electric fighting types, obviously. So
Yeah.
could be
What's
could play factor.
What's hilarious about that is if Zeraora doesn't get another type, that would be, I think, 5 or 6 pure electric mega types. Like that's what we had, because it's what is it? Electros. These two Raichus, Zeraora. If it doesn't get anything, how many were we at? There's more than that too.
They could-
Manectric.
They could have made
Manectric.
they could have made Mega Electros part poison type because of all that mucus.
Dude,
yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of cool things that they could have done with it.
Electric
Yeah.
poison with levitate would have been fun too.
Oh
Yeah,
dang!
that's a
Yeah,
good
that
point.
would have been cooking. Holy cow!
Good point, Lumi. Good point.
But yeah, one also too, like Zeraora's signature move is Plasma Fists. Like I feel like it's so coded to get the fighting type. I think what should have happened with the Raichus is Mega Raichu X should have been Cantonium Raichu's Mega Evolution, been electric fighting, and then Mega Raichu Y should have been a Mega Evolution for a Alolan Raichu and been electric psychic.
That would have been cool.
Dude, that would have been cool.
That would have been
Yeah.
amazing, but I feel like they didn't want to open the can of worms of regional variants now get Mega Evolutions because
Sure.
that is a whole.
What
other-
happens to Slow King? Or
Did you
Slow
see
Bro?
with Slowbro, they actually changed the description of the Slowbro Knight. It normally it just says, this is a Megastone used to Mega Evolve Slowbro. And now they've added in the description for the item in your bag, it now adds, this will not work on a Galarian Slowbro, however. So
Yeah.
like just in
No,
case
just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just to make sure.
Right. Well, because
Don't try this
if
at
they
home.
if they eventually do that somewhere down the line, then you're gonna have Slowbro Knight and like Galarian Slowbro Knight. So it's just gonna like add more complexity to it, and I feel like that's why they didn't do it here. Because if you do that, that's like the focus of a game is like regional
Right.
variants get megas now. So it's just the timing isn't quite there yet.
Yeah, I mean, even before ZA came out, people were like speculating this. They're like, "Are we gonna get megas for the regional forms?" You know, like
Right.
so. Like a lot of people were on the whole train of like the main starters, the ZA starters. So like for Ralligator would get a mega evolution, or it would get a regional form, and then that regional form would get a mega evolution at the end. I'm like, this is crazy, guys. You guys are getting crazy.
Yeah.
We're getting wild.
Right. And it's like for a lot of the regional variants, like this isn't really an issue, but I think part of it does come down to they want to give new designs time for people to just appreciate them, because if you instantly give a Pokemon a new form, it just like makes you forget. It makes it less memorable. And I was recently listening to, because I've just been like going through you guys' like back catalog when I need something to listen to, and I was listening to your gigantic.
That's a Hoops and Hip Hop endorsement.
Yeah, absolutely. I was listening to your guys' Gigantamax tier list, and you talked about how the Kanto Gigantamax Pokemon are memorable, but the Galarian ones are not, because it's like we got this brand new Pokemon, and then immediately they gave it Gigantamax, and it's like I don't care because I've known about this new Pokemon for 5 seconds. So
Right.
that definitely I think plays a factor, and I think it's good that they wait. So
Yeah. That's hilarious, because that like brings this conversation full circle to when we were talking about them like giving new forms to recent Pokemon.
right.
I think 3 years is a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did. Like Scarlet and Violet came out 3 years ago, like
Yeah.
today or yesterday.
It'd be one thing
and-
if it was like a year, but 3 years, like that's a whole generation. So
Yeah, exactly. Now we're getting 3 years later, we're getting mega evolutions for some of these guys.
Yeah.
speaking of,
I think
actually,
What
you
is
guys
it?
you guys go ahead. I have something that we could segue to, but say what you're gonna say.
Okay, well this was a slight segue. I was just gonna ask if there were any others on this list that like have you super interested or super excited, Hoops.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was gonna go to. So we are
There we go. We were on the
The
same
perfect
brainwave.
segue.
Can I have 10 seconds?
segue within a segue.
I just wanted to say again on the idea of like having alternate versions of Mega Evolution. I think what's also important outside of the type and the design is also like the battle prowess. We've seen that like both of the different X and Y Mega Evolutions, one is usually specially offensive, one is more physically offensive.
Yeah.
And I think Lucario is a mixed attacker, I believe, but I think
is. The
but I think-
physical's a little more.
yeah, and its Mega Design, where's a good picture right here? Its Mega Design definitely leans into Lucario's fighting abilities. I've never really thought Lucario ever, again, the Steel type really is a secondary accent, and I feel like the current Mega Design for Lucario leans onto the fighting type. Even its head beads end up looking like additional fists. They're not additional fists, but they like literally are like black arms with like red punching like fist. That's what like it looks like it's arms and feet. So I think what this new Mega Lucario needs to do is maybe lean into something more pensive, something more stoic, something that maybe moves its body less. It is focused on aura, and it's throwing out aura punches and aura blasts, right? And there's so many cool design concepts where it's like Lucario's meditating, where it's like stalking, right? Where it's like it's like an undead warrior or
I
something,
like the
right?
one
I think
that
you're
looks
spot
like
on.
a shiny down below you on the third row. It's like near
Oh, yeah, right here?
elevator. Yeah, like I don't
Yeah,
know, the
this is cool.
stance change I think is really nice. Like just kind of it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
man, have y'all ever seen? I'm so sorry, Dusty. I don't know if you hate when I do this, but here comes a Marvel reference. Have
No,
y'all
I don't
ever
hate
seen-
it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Have y'all ever seen
It's
Shang-Chi?
charming.
Where like
No.
That's a great movie.
in Shang-Chi, like I don't know what they call the the like fighting style in it, but he ends up going to like this place that his mother's from, and they're like able to move wind and stuff. Like they're able to practically airbend like through these different like poses and stuff. And like I like the idea of Lucario kind of doing something like that and getting like I don't know, like the posing of this I feel like is really nice.
I think that makes the most sense. I think it's spot on because it's like you said, Dusty. He really goes deeper into fighting this mega that we've had forever. This is like a very fighting mega, and the steel elements are there obviously because the spikes get bigger, but it's more fighting focused. And so I don't know, maybe the other one has a different type that's more focused on.
I think it needs to lean into aura. That's like,
but this one does lean into aura though too, doesn't it? I don't know.
It does. But it's
guess,
like
I mean, like, I want the design to be
manifestation.
spiritual, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
We'll see. Yeah, this is like the new official art. I can't get a clean render of it, but
this is your weekly podcast reminder to Game Freak to release the 2D art of all the Pokemon.
Yes. Oh my!
And that we hate the 3D renders.
Guys, not on this podcast. But I agree.
Even if they had done this key art for the new ones, like that Dusty has up of Lucario, if they had done that for the new ones, oh man, that would have been.
That's a lot of more work, though. I'd say.
Well, like it just is like
it's intense.
It's insane to me that they put out this stuff and they make this take a back seat to those 3D renders. Like, what are we doing?
No, what are we doing? What are
you doing, Hoops, if Gen 10 starters are dropped as 3D renders?
No!
I think I would probably like do a live stream where I go out to my backyard and like burn my computer or something. like I would
not say that too loud because then we're gonna have to hold you to
I would be so pissed.
The commenters are going to be relentless. They're going to be like,
burn your computer.
This has now become the most bookmarked video on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And because I said
just to make sure, like, he can, like, he can burn like an old random computer, not the one that he uses for his everyday work.
15-year-old one that I would burn.
There you go. That's the one you can burn.
This Mega Lucario's Mega Lucario's actually wicked sick. I'm just seeing all these parts of it, and I'm like, I think I love it. Actually, it's so cool.
It is. It's just that we've seen it so many times that we kind of it like dulls our impression of it. Whatever. You're
what are you,
that's one of your
French
favorites.
now? Oh, you speak French?
No, but I'm saying like
he's gone Colossian on us because this man's saying we.
I've always loved this mega. This is one of the best megas. But it's just like
so sick.
They put it in your face so much.
Oh my god, it's so cool. This is me right now.
Almost.
All right, let's we got
shout out to that
megas.
guy.
Yeah, so we talked about those.
Wait, the perfect segue.
What's the perfect segue?
It's a double rainbow across the sky.
Yes. So the next mega that is probably one of the most intriguing megas to me is Tatsugiri, because Tatsugiri is like it is not complete without Dondozo. So when it gets a mega, it's going to become its own Pokemon, and like what is it going to do when that happens? That's really interesting.
I agree, because it's like you bring up a perfect point of like it doesn't feel like its own Pokemon. It's like this big, but it's like a dragon type and like strong enough to do whatever. It's not your typical maybe conventional is not the right word, but you know like normal dragon kind of thing. But what could it become? Because it's solo now.
Yeah, this is cool. I'm on the Bulbapedia page. So its ability, Tatsugiri's ability is Commander. Its classification is the Mimicry Pokemon. That's kind of cool. There's 3 different ones. Obviously, it's based on Sushi. The low-hanging fruit is that it's going to... Dude, this is crazy. Bird Pokemon are its main prey. This fish eats birds. This Pokemon knows it's weak, so it hunts with a partner. So it teams up. It's one of the most intelligent dragon Pokemon. It camouflages itself by inflating its throat sac. I think we're going to be seeing another Phalanx situation where they kind of team up.
That could be possible, because it could be a way of kind of converging the 3 different forms, kind of like what we saw with Pyroar.
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to say, 2 things I was going to say actually, are that it doesn't evolve, obviously, so it doesn't have a pre-evolution to rely on like so many of the megas do in this game, where they like bring in their pre-evolution into the mix. And then the other thing is, you just mentioned that Dex entry where it talks about how this Pokemon is super intelligent. Like, what if that could bring on like a Psychic type or something like that, like Dragon Psychic?
Sure.
So
that's a good shout for sure.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I think it's gonna do something kind of crazy. I think it needs to display some sort of, like, it's going to basically appear bigger than it actually is, and because I think it would actually it's dragon and water type, and I think that's a really good type. I don't think it has a reason to change that type, but because it is a dragon, like, I do want to see it be a dragon or appear like a dragon or something. There's this really cool art that I've seen on Instagram. It's right here. I guess this guy's name is Faye, like Fakemon, but like Faye. And basically it's mega. It uses like the little sack underneath its body that looks like rice, and it expands that.
Bro, I could totally see this
to look like a Dondozo.
Yeah, this makes so much sense.
But again, it's an imitation. The main Pokemon is still the little Pokemon. So it's kind of like a reverse Kangaskhan, where Kangaskhan's baby mega evolves. I think we're going to see Tatsugiri, like the sack underneath it, mega evolve into this thing that looks like a dragon. But really, it hasn't changed much at all. That's like what I'm picking out of its Dex entries. Tatsugiri it's deceptive. It's smart. It's deceptive, and it needs to appear. Its evolutionary advantage is that it needs to appear bigger or scarier than it actually is.
That makes a lot of sense, but to offer a counter to that a little bit,
sure.
Tatsugiri is probably dragon water type, because the water typing kind of matches it up with Dondozo, who's also water type. So if it's losing Dondozo in this mega, that would give it another reason to lose the water type and maybe gain like the psychic type or something like that.
Dude, okay, I can see that. That's it. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it like a fish, and I'm also just like being like, I'm like, oh, well, the dragon water type is a good type, but you're right. There's plenty of fish that aren't water type.
It is kind of a toss up though, because like I could totally see them bringing in Dondozo somehow, and like using Dondozo as like the pre-evolved form, quote unquote, like it's the Pokemon that they bring into the design. So
yeah. No, I think Dusty can just convince me. I didn't even think about that, but it makes so much sense that like, oh, Dondozo's not getting a mega, so this is kind of like Dondozo's mega too. I can totally see this. This is like, this makes so much sense to me. And what you just said, Hoops, it's like the whole, pulling from its evolutionary lines or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this makes a lot of sense to me. I was trying to think of like, what's like the natural evolution for a little piece of sushi, those sushi boats or something, like something with a whole,
what would be crazy?
I'm imagining some big sushi thing.
What would be crazy is, how with Mega Feraligatr, there's the whole thing with it's kind of playing on how alligators keep their babies in their mouths, and that's kind of why we got Mega Feraligatr. They could do something similar here that would be perfect, where imagine that little rice ball under Tatsugiri becomes the body of like that resembles Dondozo, so kind of like what we saw in that. But instead of Tatsugiri being on top of the ball, it becomes like the tongue of the body of Dondozo.
Whoa,
so it's in the mouth.
That's fun.
And then that makes sense because it's like these are food Pokemon, so it's like in the mouth because it's food.
He's
basically
protected.
Yeah,
that's
he's
what
protected.
It does with Dondozo. It's
that's like literally.
Yeah.
So. I could totally see that. This makes a lot of sense.
This is so much fun.
See, I'm that lame person though who like all these ideas are like not only creative but probably actually what it's gonna be because they make the most sense. But I want it. I love Tatsugiri, so I just want it to become like a dragon, right?
Yeah, I would.
I agree. Yeah. But that's what I said at the beginning, right? I just want all of these Pokemon to become dragons. Like, just let him become a long dragon, like, please.
And then
make
that's
kind
of all I want.
Dark dragon.
Yeah.
Tatsugiri.
One
What if we?
one final
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
one final wild card option I could also see is again combining all 3 forms into one mega, so they don't have to do 3 different mega forms or whatever. And what they could do is something like where they not literally combine them together, but effectively combine them together and make them this kind of long Eastern style type dragon, because they've already got that body style. So if you put them all together, it becomes like that, literally exactly like that, where they're all represented, but now it's more of a traditional Asian dragon and it's bigger and yeah.
Right. And that's why I was thinking about what is it called? Phalanx, right? Where they kind of form together and there could be more than 3. We we actually could see a Dunsparce thing where it's
That's
there's
literally
10
what I was
of them
thinking.
and they're all just kind of pieced together, right? All the Tatsugiri in the area, they come together without Dondozo in order to survive. They mega evolve to combine and they all team up. Yeah, like Zygarde. That's not even crazy because it's literally the game that this mega is being introduced in.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. You just have all these little these little fishies together, kind of like a school of fish.
Yeah, I do want to say though, in the coding for the game, we actually do see that there are 3 Tatsugiri megas.
Sure.
So it does seem like it will be each form has its own mega. But it could just be what y'all are describing and just a different one at the front. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So on the one you were showing, the fake mount image you were showing, this one. So here we see it's the droopy form up front, but then maybe if you mega evolve the curly form, it's the curly form up front. And,
it would be,
and that's satisfying.
It would be so peak if they, even if it was just a small change, made each mega individual somehow, because we've never gotten a mega that has multiple forms really. We've got multiple megas, but not multiple like a mega with forms. So that would kind of.
Can you imagine if they did that with Pyroar? That would be so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's a whole thing there because essentially megas have never had forms before because they are a form. Do you know what I mean? So that was, to me, that made sense why Pyroar wouldn't get anything. It's just it didn't get anything because megas can't have forms because they're already forms. So no form. But this is the first time that we see this. Like Lumi's right. They're coded to get forms, and that's how we know about all of these. So what we don't know is the extent of those forms. People are just saying they'll just be color swaps, but they could totally be what you said, Hoops. They could have individual things. Now, obviously, I don't know. Maybe not. Obviously, Game Freak could have went ham and just made a whole bunch of different Tatsugiri. That'd be freaking awesome. But history tells us it's probably something minor to each one of them because they are technically all Tatsugiri. But yeah, it's interesting, definitely to think about. I
will say too, with Tatsugiri, they're more than just a color swap, right? They actually have different battle mechanics where the one that when Dondozo swallows a Tatsugiri, he gets this stat boost, and then whenever he uses Order Up, he also gets a stat boost, and it actually the effect the stat boost is different depending on the Tatsugiri he ate. So likewise, you could bring that into the mega, and I don't remember which one does which off the top of my head, but say that the curly form raises speed. Maybe the curly form's mega is a little bit faster than the droopy and stretchy form.
I gotta say, Dondozo has the most ridiculous tongue that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I was.
Why is it a table? Why is it a table?
It's a table for
literally got legs.
Yeah, it's got legs.
Yeah. I was just looking at the the sushi boats that the sushi comes on. I could totally see, we're talking about Dondozo. Maybe they just don't have Dondozo there, and the sack or whatever that it has becomes one of these boats, and it's just underneath a boat.
Yeah.
Kind of shape instead of a Dondozo.
So good.
This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they just expand on this.
Bro.
And maybe the boats are all different kind of boats for each form.
I think I'm going to get sushi after this recording.
dude.
This looks so good.
I haven't had sushi in so long right now, and I'm like freaking out.
The
I need
best
it.
place is in my town, and it's like a 10-minute drive, and I'm getting this
Nice.
for lunch.
Sounds good.
Sorry, I'm just hungry now. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, it could go so many different ways, and this is honestly like a ton of fun to talk about because I used Tatsugiri in my first Scarlet and Violet team, and it was good, but
He's a sleeper for me.
yeah, he is.
He might be on the team. I have one slot open for the final teammate still.
Yeah.
The other
That's
ones
me
I've got
too.
picked.
I do too.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of these legendary Pokemon, and we are getting kind of short on time. We've only talked about the Megas so far. I do want to talk about these legendaries, but I also want to talk about the characters and plot and any other questions we might have unanswered later in the back half of the episode. This stuff might go to Secret Power, but yeah, the Mega Evolutions. We're getting a Mega for Heatran, a Mega Evolution for Darkrai, a Mega Evolution for Zeraora, as we discussed, and even this is probably just going to be one Mega Evolution for Magearna, but then maybe like a color variant for the special Pokeball form is kind of what we're assuming. So that's 4 new Mega Evolutions, all legendary and mythical Pokemon. What do you guys think about this?
Exciting.
I'm aware that it has a Gigantamax, but it should have been Melmetal.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I mean, instead of Magearna, sure.
I-
Anything instead of Magearna.
I genuinely
For me.
think all of these are really cool picks. If we're gonna be real, it should have been Volcanion. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I love
Yes.
Heatran. I'm
yeah.
so happy Heatran got something, but poor Volcanion, man.
They got to have something cooking for it though, like
Let's hope.
because
I
it's
pray.
like there's no way they don't at least give it like a Diancie type quest. But I feel like the fact that they're being so cryptically silent about it feels like it could have something a little bit more, which I'm
Yeah.
hoping for.
And yeah, Hoops, I don't know if you watched one of our recent videos. I actually don't even know if it's out, but we did discuss, and yeah, I think it was a live stream. We definitely discussed that this is just code in the data, like they can add things in. Like they can just inject one more mega.
Yeah.
They can inject 3 more megas if they really want to. Like they could have them somewhere else that wasn't in this code, you know? So sky's really the limit. I would say like it's more wise to err on the end of like being reserved in your expectations, but yeah, they could add another one. Volcanion could be in there. I think the biggest miss, I know we're not talking about that exactly, but since we're talking about legendaries, is Xerneas and Yveltal not getting anything is painful for me to sit here.
Well, that was something that they talked about in the Terra League. They were like they were like disappointed because from what I read, which was like the dev logs or whatever, they were like
right.
They were like, we tried to make it work, but we couldn't, and we are sad about that. So maybe in like an X and Y remake or something, we could do it. And they were basically saying that they were disappointed about it. So
You're saying Game Freak was this? I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, I read. It was in one of the like developer documents that leaked. They basically were saying that like they were bummed that they couldn't make it work.
I have a question about that. How did you read that? Like, where did you source that from?
It was somewhere on Twitter, which isn't a good citation.
Yeah,
but
no.
the account that I
Twitter?
pulled it from, I know was legit, but it was on Twitter. So
Yeah,
take
was
that
it
for
Soul's
what you will.
account?
I know that like there was one thing going around, like when all the Terra League stuff was happening, there was one translated page going around where they said that they specifically didn't make Xerneas and Yveltal Mega Evolutions because they wanted to save them for X and Y remakes down the road. But then that ended up getting proven that it was actually fake, and someone like slipped that in with all the madness of the Terra League.
Lumi says proven, but I don't say proven still. I
Really?
still think it's I think it's on the fence.
translator people are saying
I
like,
know.
"Nah, this ain't it."
I know, but I
very
still think that
particular.
there's a chance. The reason that it's disproven is because of the way the Japanese that they speak in the actual image. It like has some kanji that Japanese people wouldn't use, And it's like, okay, so some like random person on the internet might have made this. They might have, but we don't know. Like, there's no confirmation that we do or do not know. Maybe there was another reason. I don't remember well enough to make an argument right now, but I think it's a little bit more. I would say it's probably debunked, but I would also say that there's still a little bit of room for that piece of information to be true or not. I was asking you the source because maybe you were reading the actual documents. That's what I was wondering. Because if you were reading it, I haven't read it.
Right.
You know, like the actual documents or anything.
I don't remember. I don't remember them saying that like they were going to, but they held them back. I remember reading they wanted to, but they couldn't, so they were like, maybe down the road if we do this. That's what I remember. And the wherever I read it, it wasn't like some random account. It was an account that I felt like I could take the word of. So
Sure.
But it is Twitter,
I think,
so you know.
Yeah. So it's ambiguous essentially. It's like it's not really confirmed or denied. I would say personally, Lumi airs on the other side.
I like to air on the when I like what I'm hearing, because like hypothetically that would mean like they very much are thinking about the idea of X and Y remake. So I'm like, nope, can't let myself believe that, you know, because I don't care, man. If they were like Gen 10 DLC, it's all Kalos. After that, we're doing another Legends Kalos. I'd be like, yes to all of that. I don't even care.
Well, it's crazy. I pulled up my Pokemon X game because I was like trying to look for something really quick for a video, and I wanted to just do it myself. So I kind of just turned my game on for 2 seconds, and I was when I pulled up my file, I was in Camphor Town, and I needed to go to Lumiose City, so I kind of just walked over there, and it like took me back about like, holy crap, like this is like so much cool stuff from Kalos that were like missing in X and Y or in ZA because of it just being in Lumiose. And I was
100%.
I was just like, give me this again. So like there's totally room for more, for sure.
I agree. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we're segueing into that part of this episode yet, but we can talk about that for sure. This
whole episode turned into just what are we excited about? Mega evolutions. Right?
Well, it's true though.
So we're gonna have to do a follow up on this. I think
it's true though.
But yeah, so talking about these mega evolutions, I think it's just cool to see some of these legendaries here. Like, I think Heatran is kind of simple. I guess my biggest questions with a lot of these is why are these picked? Right? They could be as irrelevant. Like, I honestly think Darkrai and Heatran, we could rack our brains, but I really think they're just going to be as irrelevant, or they're going to be as random as any of the other mega evolutions on this list. I think Darkrai and Heatran, I believe, are on the weaker side when it comes to legendary Pokemon. So there's no reason why they shouldn't get a mega if Garchomp, a pseudo legendary, or Baxcalibur get a mega. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Magearna, though, I think will have story implications. And Zeraora, I believe, might also have story implications.
I would argue Darkrai may as well, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Mythical, you know what I mean? Like,
well, not only that. So those are the two mythicals, right? It's Darkrai. Well, no, Zeraora is too, but Darkrai and Magearna are mythicals, right? And the only way that we normally get mythicals in a game is through like an event. They're not like a part of the plot or anything like that. It's very rare. I think it's only Arceus with Legends Arceus.
There's a couple
and I think so. That's how they add
that.
these in here, where it's like, you know, they're part of the plot, so that's why they're here. The biggest thing with Darkrai is if you look at Ansha, I remembered her name. I can't believe it. If you look at Ansha, she kind of looks very similarly like a Darkrai to me. To a lot of people have pointed it out.
Sure,
yes, like she has the same.
She
has this thing here, and she's got the white thing on her head.
Yeah, I see. Oh my gosh.
And it's like, she kind of Darkrai like, and you know, what's her deal in this whole DLC? I was going to say ZA. I don't know what's going on, but like obviously Diantha's the clear connection. But it's like Diantha, Darkrai, and Ansha, like boom.
Well, and then
dude, you're right.
If you factor in the fact that she's got Hoopa, it's like, okay, she's got Hoopa. She's kind of got some Darkrai vibes. That's two mythical Pokemon. Like, what is this little girl up to?
Right.
Yeah.
She can apparently make donuts that can summon Leviathan and Behemoth.
Oh yeah.
I guess.
It does. Sorry, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say for listeners, just because it's like a visual thing. Darkrai and Ansha, the new little girl with Hoopa, they both have like, she's got a white hat that's like puffy. Darkrai's got like the white, I don't know what it is, like a smoke
Hair?
cloud hair. Darkrai also has like a black gown or whatever, a black body, and she has like a raincoat that's like black that extends her whole body, and she has this like scarf that's like a pink. And Darkrai has a red like cowl around its neck. They both have blue eyes as well, so there's some similarities visually.
It could be a coincidence, right?
But also, yeah. I think
but here's the thing: I'm thinking like you have Hoopa and you have Darkrai. I think it could be a very similar situation to the base game, where I don't think Hoopa's like, gonna be the big bad or like the main boss. It's almost like Hoopa's like Zygarde. And then so like what's going to be the antagonistic Pokemon of this DLC, so it's like maybe it's Darkrai, maybe she has like a dark side or something.
The Mega Dimension is a nightmare.
Oh, that would be
and it's the one that Mega Evolves, not Hoopa. So it's like,
that'd be cool.
Okay. There's something going on here, and this is all just a theory. It could be completely random like Dusty said. But yeah, I feel like there's something there with that. And then Magearna too.
Look at the Mega Dimension. That would make so much sense as a dream, because for one, it's like, it's eerie. It's a little like, decrepit, black and white, kind of almost like it's a memory. But then also it's got these just really weird things going on there, like Pokemon above the level 100. That's not supposed to happen. It has Galarian, Mr. Mime, but also a Alolan Marowak. So it kind of does make sense for it to be, it's a dream,
What could be more nightmarish?
Yes.
Right? Than Galarian, Mr. Mime, than Mr. Rhyme himself.
Right.
Yeah.
No, listen, I don't think this is actually impossible. So, like, okay, so obviously nightmares are just nightmares, but, like, I feel like in fiction, what that actually is like what Darkrai could be showing people of all times. Like, what is the Dark Void? You're not, Darkrai is not giving people just thoughts, but Darkrai is actually letting people awaken at night and see and be trapped, seeing into hyperspace Lumios, into this other dimension.
I mean,
right? Like, they're seeing a real place. That is the nightmare.
It's not like backed by any science, of course, but a lot of people who like believe in a multiverse theorize that your dreams are actually you seeing
real life,
an alternate reality of yourself or whatever. And like, and that's even like, that is so much so that it's used as a story point. Another Marvel reference coming, Multiverse of Madness. Like, that's a whole thing they do, is they literally dream walk to see these other realities. So it works, I think.
I would say the last connection is she's a little girl. Like, she just has nightmares or something. You know what I mean? Like, it just,
that's who, and
it kind of all adds up that this is like her big bad monster under the bed kind of thing.
Right.
So I just see it all kind of connects to me personally.
Yes.
It's a missed opportunity, to be honest, if they don't do it. But
folklore has it that on moonless nights, this Pokemon will make people see horrific nightmares.
Yeah. What were you going to say? Hoops?
I was going to say one.
Sorry.
We have honestly, like, not to pat ourselves on the back or anything, but we've been cooking this whole podcast. Like, I'm impressed.
No, here, come on. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
pat ourselves on the back.
Pat yourself on the back.
My other thought was, imagine there's a little portal to hyperspace Lumios, a little pocket of it that's nothing but Galarian, Mr. Mime, Hypno, Jinx,
dude,
like,
that is
all the
nightmare.
Pokemon that are just nightmare
Do a little
fuel.
tap dance.
Yeah,
that actually kind of adds up to, like, because apparently hyperspace Lumios is not one big place. It is probably, like, canonically or like in lore, but when we go into it, we're going into like sections. I'm pretty sure.
I think
that's like what they kind of portrayed.
Yeah.
So maybe we go into like, this one section where there's just the Galarian Mr. Mimes. Kind of like what you were just saying. It makes sense.
It also makes sense why there's so many, because I have been wondering, why are there so many, aside from the Mega Evolutions, there's so many just legendary mythical Pokemon seemingly returning in this DLC. Some of them, oftentimes, they're like added back in DLC, but it's just for you to transfer in. But maybe there really will be wild Meloetta, wild Genesect, wild Mid-gear.
I forgot about all
Weird.
them. I forgot about all them too.
Yeah, I mean, Rayquaza, Latios, Kyogre, Groudon. I mean, there's so many. The Swords of Justice are there. So, like, maybe it's all because, like, it's in a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, dude. Wow, that's true. It's a dream. Well, I think what it is here is like, I'm like trying to explain it to myself just so like we can just be clear about this. Like, I think the way we need to think about this is that like what we perceive as dreams is actually just us witnessing very real things in these like alternate dimensions that are inaccessible until Darkrai has the certain conditions, which is a moonless night, allowing Darkrai to make humans in Pokemon witness these very real things. Like, it's the only way to perceive these very real things. Because that is another thing about its dex, right? Like, Darkrai can only do this when there's no moon. And that's what makes Darkrai a counterpart to Lunatone. Not Lunatone. What am I saying?
Lunatone.
Where is it? Cresselia.
Lunatone.
Cresselia. Lunatone, yeah, not the rock moon Pokemon, but the lunar Pokemon Cresselia. And funny enough, Cresselia is not in the leaks. Like, Cresselia is not in the... It won't be in ZA.
It's not even there. What?
Which would explain why Darkrai would be able to create these illusions. Yeah, so that's
that's
just
a good show.
That's just too cool. And we have all these other Pokemon that are returning as well. We got Mega Latios, Mega Rayquaza, Mega Groudon, Kyogre. I'm afraid we're gonna have to switch on over to Secret Power at this point. If you guys want to keep listening, huge thanks to Hoops. But if you guys want to keep listening, members on YouTube, on Patreon, at our lowest tier, you can get access to the rest of this conversation. We're going to be talking about, we're just going long, but we're going to be talking about the plot, characters. We have more Mega Evolutions and Pokemon to discuss. I think Volo's coming back. That's my big theory.
I have some thoughts on that too, yeah.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube, obviously. That's my main platform. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, just posting stuff. But mostly, YouTube's my main one, where I obviously post all my content. And I am...
You've been doing a lot of collaborations recently. You got a video with Toby, Lore Keeper Toby. You got a new collab literally out 1 hour ago with JPR.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that you do, one of my favorite things about your channel is... obviously, all of the original Fakemon that you create and showcase, I think I really like your designs because you always root them in lore, and it's always connected to like the real life Pokemon canon. It's not just like, it's not like, meta themes. It's like, would this exist based on a set of criteria that is in the game? I always really enjoy that. Yeah, and you have so many awesome Fakemon. I feel like I'm always hyping you up and trying to tell you that like, you have such a huge catalog of Fakemon that, for right or wrong, is or for true, like whether or not they're like debunked or can't happen or not, like again, they're just great ideas. I love good ideas, and I think you have you remain an inspiration point for me. So for anyone listening, go check out Hoops and Hip Hop if you have not, if you don't follow them, man.
Yeah,
follow them, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I just want to cover everything, and the Fakemon in particular, it's a good outlet to just like look at the possibilities. So that's why I like it. But again,
and we never talked about Mega Volcanion. Like, that's got to come back. Southern Kalos.
Look how beautiful that is.
We'll have you on again soon.
Yeah.
Because we got more to talk about.
Yeah, that's like, we got to find out what they're doing with that. But
thank you guys so much for watching. The episode does not need to end. The rest of this conversation is over and available on Patreon or to YouTube channel members. There's links in the description to join at our lowest tier. Support the podcast. We are independent. Your support funds these conversations, and you can get access to the rest of the conversation with Hoops and Hip Hop. We talk about so much. Love you guys. We'll see you over there.